Rather lads, welcome back to Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. These are the 6 things we learned from Arsenal 3, Bournemouth 2, a massive win, a massive comeback from the Gunners. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well, and let me know in the comment box below. Do you think VAR is such a disgrace? 3 penalty shouts on Tomiyasu, 2 handballs as well, not even looked at, not even given for Arsenal. Are we really joking? Is this becoming a joke with VAR? Always this, looking away, always turning their eye away when Arsenal need review. When we are offside, they check it. When we have a foul on a goalkeeper, they check it. But when it comes to Arsenal, it is never checked. When it is checked, it's never given. What do you think about those 2 handballs and Tomiyasu being brought out in the penalty area in the first half? Do you think we were being done again by VAR on the evening? Hit the like button for me, subscribe to the podcast as well. Let's get this video to 300 likes. And these are the 6 things we learned from Arsenal 3, Bournemouth 2. Number 1, that comeback deserves a title win. Listen, we've seen a couple of comebacks in the Premier League. I don't have a problem with teams going down and then coming back, but our comeback really deserves a title. That comeback is a comeback of champions. That comeback deserves us to win the Premier League and defend it again. We need to win it 3 times in a row. Now, Bournemouth came at the Emirates Stadium, and I know they didn't expect anything, and I know they knew we're coming at one of the best grounds, difficult grounds, the best team in the league, and all that. But getting a goal, that actually created a lot of momentum. It gave them a reason to defend. It gave them something to defend, and they felt like we might get a point. Probably we might get 2 points or 3 points or a point. For the list. But when Arsenal go 2 goals down, that is when they start thinking, wait a minute, we want 3 points at the Emirates Stadium. We want 3. We're going to beat the best team in London. We're going to beat the best team in the Premier League. We're going to win. We're going to beat the potential title champions. And when Arsenal starts putting in the gears, gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, gear 4, gear 5, in reverse, right? Because gear number 1 for me is where we won the game. It just shows you that we are ready to win the title. And that is a statement, that is a message to all these pundits, including Graham Souness, including Roy Keane, including Gary Neville. All those them pundits saying, look, Arsenal cannot win the title. Look, Arsenal have not proven to us. That is proof. Aston Villa away, Bournemouth 2 goals to nil, 2 goals to nil down. Man United in the dying minutes, Liverpool in the dying minutes as well. All those are signs that this Arsenal side means business. All those are signs that we are ready to be champions. Now, there is always a first time. We last won our trophy in 2004 stroke 2005. Sorry, 2003 stroke 2004. That is when we last won a trophy. You don't expect us to come just out of the blue and give you evidence. We don't have the evidence because in the last 18 years actually, we've not won a fucking title, right? But what shows you that we mean business, what shows you that we're a quality side, a much better side, is when we come and show up and we got 2 goals down and we come back and win it at the death. All the teams that have been winning titles have done this. Aston Villa lost the same way against Manchester City last campaign on the deadline day, right? Everyone gave a shout out to Man City. Wow, you're champions. Wow, the experience. Wow, this and that. This is what Arsenal are doing. So stop doubting us. All right? So for me, guys, that comeback was special. From the substitutions to the gears we were entering right from the minute we conceded a second goal. That was a real game. That was a real champions game. And if we win the Premier League, we will look back and go, Bournemouth at home, that is where we want it. Or maybe Aston Villa away, that is where we want it. But for me, if we win the Premier League, this is the game. This is the game. This game is going to mean so much for our momentum. Because after this game, we play Fulham at the Craven Cottage. You don't want to go at the Craven Cottage with your reputation damaged. You don't want to go there at the Craven Cottage with your with your confidence damaged or with your momentum damaged. It's going to be away from home. So you need to be consistent. You need to win. And that is what we've done. 4 in a row now. We have one more game to make it 5 wins out of the last 5 in the Premier League. And I believe we are going to actually do that. If you believe that, hit the like button right about now. Point number 2, Mikel Arteta's substitutions were absolute class. I don't know how he thought about them, but this time he got the right substitutions. Tomiyasu coming off for Ben White coming on for Tomiyasu. That was a very, very good one because you look at how Ben White actually impacted the game. I thought him standing in that penalty area when we are bringing in corners is kind of awkward, isn't it? But it worked this time, just troubling Neto a little bit, and then Arsenal get the goal. And the moment we get the goal, the momentum starts building. And do you know who scored the second goal for Arsenal? It was Ben White, because Reiss Nelson crosses that ball and he's in free space, he's arriving, and he puts that ball on target, and wow, we have a goal. And that goal actually means that now almost every starter apart from Aaron Ramsdale for Arsenal has scored a goal. Saliba has a goal, scored against Bournemouth. White has a goal against Bournemouth. Gabriel Magalhaes has a goal, he scored against Fulham. Alexander Zinchenko has a goal, scored against Aston Villa. Partey has a goal scored today. Odegaard has a goal, scored against Everton as well. Xhaka has a goal, scored against Tottenham. Jorginho has a goal. I mean, if you want me to call that a goal, against Aston Villa. Emile Smith-Rowe doesn't have a goal, of course, but the rest of the starters and up front all have a goal in this season. We have 15 different goal scorers this campaign. 15 different goal scorers. And that's why, for me, we are unpredictable. And that's why we are one of the best teams in Europe right now. We don't have that Victor Osimhen that scores 18 in a campaign. We don't have that Kavicha Kvaratskhelia that is scoring 10, 20. But we have a Saka with 10. We have a Martinelli with 11. We have a Trossard with 1. We have a Gabriel Jesus with 5, a Martin Odegaard with 6, and a couple of other players also joining in to score the goal. So, listen, the substitutions for me, I love them. Reiss Nelson as well, coming in to have the best game of his life. In my opinion, Mikel Arteta got that right. He really, really got that right. Even when Xhaka came on for Fabio Vieira, I kind of felt like he gave Vieira enough time, ample time to do whatever he wants to do. And Vieira was absolutely very, very good. And then Xhaka comes on and we score in the last minute. How about that to conclude the evening? So the substitutions were purely class. Number 3, we showed character, resilience, and a hard skin. Listen, let's talk about the hard skin that we have developed as a team, because that is not for every team. That is not for every manager. That is not for every set of players. Arsenal have now developed a hard skin. We've developed into a team that we don't care how many goals we are down. We don't care when we are down. All we care about is the final whistle. This is the true character we've seen with Sir Alexander Chapman-Ferguson teams when they won 13 Premier League titles in a space of 2 decades. This is what we've seen. They literally win games at the death. They literally win games. They don't care whether it is the 90th minute and they're 2 goals down. They will win it. We've seen them beat Arsenal from behind. We've seen them beat Tottenham Hotspur from behind. This Man United side has lost 3-0, and they've come back to win 4-3 under Sir Alexander Chapman-Ferguson. And look at Manchester City, and look at how they've been, winning games in the 90th minute, in the 100th minute. They've been so good. So listen, that hard skin is very good, and I pray that it doesn't wear off forever. I want Arsenal to go in the UEFA Champions League thinking like this, with this kind of mentality, with this kind of character, with this kind of resilience, that we don't lose games until the referee says you've lost. If we do that in the UEFA Champions League, we are going to be the newest member of the UEFA Champions League winners group. I'm telling you this. We're going to be the newest member of the UEFA Champions League winners group with that character, resilience, and a hard skin. We're going to be. Right? Because you look at teams like Real Madrid and how they react to games. Madrid lost 2-0 at the Anfield like 20 minutes into the game. They went 2-0 down and they won the game 5-2. That is Champions League level. That is Champions League material. If you don't know what the Champions League is all about, go and watch that game. That is what the Champions League is all about. So I loved it. I really, really did. Look, we've come a long way, and I'm going to talk about that. But we've really, really come a long way. This Arsenal side could crumble at 1-0. This Arsenal side could crumble at 2-1. Right now, almost 21 days ago, we played Aston Villa. We are 2-1 down. We won the game 4-2. In this game, we are 2-0 down. We've won it 3-2. We've come a long way. I think all we've got to do now is beat Manchester City, beat Liverpool at the Anfield, and really our development is going to be very, very close to completion. Now, number 4, my point number 4 is Arsenal's process has fully developed right now. Now, I'm not saying we have really arrived. I'm saying we have developed into a team. We have developed into a real Premier League challenging title team. And that's what I mean. Because you look at all the other teams that we are fighting with. You look at all these other teams that we are, we are with in the title race. We are 14 points above Manchester United, who are sitting in third, discussing how they could be in the title race. They take on Liverpool tomorrow. They don't win that game. It will be disastrous. You understand? Disastrous. Okay? So for me, look, I don't want to get carried away. But we've always talked about the process. Some of us didn't believe it in right away. Some people believed in the process right away. But right now, here we are. The process has fully developed. The process can now guarantee us top 4. For me, every single campaign for the next 5 years, Arsenal should guarantee top 4 for their fans. For every single campaign in the next 5 years, Arsenal should play a final. Right now, we are in the final with Manchester City for the Premier League. Next season, it could be the final of the UEFA Champions League. The other season, it could be the final of the FA Cup. We should start winning titles right now because, look, our average age of the squad is 23. We might not have all that Liverpool, length where they went about 6-7 years competing at a top level, right? But right now, when our process has developed like this, how about giving it a try? How about giving it a go and trying to win a silverware every single year? We must win more than Liverpool won. They won a Carabao Cup, an FA Cup, a Champions League, a Premier League, 4 titles, and a Community Shield, and maybe a Cup Winners' Cup, or International Cup. I don't care. I really don't. But Arsenal should try to do the same as well. Okay? Go into every season thinking, how do we win a title? Go into every season thinking, how do we beat the best team in the world right now? Okay? Or how do we become the best team in the world right now? Point number 5, Reiss Nelson was purely unreal. There's so many people who don't believe in Reiss Nelson. I've been one of them. I've always thought that he's not that kind of guy that Arsenal should be relying on. But he has actually proven me wrong on 2 occasions right now this season. The Nottingham Forest game where Saka came off, and this game against Bournemouth, he was purely unreal. Like, there are those players. I think one of the players I've seen this season be unreal off the bench, it has been Alejandro Garnacho, Man United. That reminds me of super subs. Like, that performance from Reiss Nelson reminds me of super subs. Players that just come on and they create a difference. They create a layer of difference. Okay? He comes in, he understands the job, he understands the task and how hard it's going to be, and he says, okay, how about we go direct? How about we try to shoot on goal? How about we try to pose a real challenge? The problem with Arsenal and Manchester City and a couple of other teams, including Barca, is we pass the ball a lot, and at times we lack that kind of direct threat. I've seen it with Napoli. Napoli don't pass the ball a lot, actually. What they do is they will move the ball around, but when they get into players like, Kavica Kvaratskhelia or Politano, or, any of those players that are kind of forward-thinking and straight, then they pose a direct threat. And that's why Napoli are very, very deadly. So I think Arsenal, in this game, Reiss Nelson absolutely gave us that. It comes on, creates a difference, pumps in a lot of energy in the team, and everyone goes, well, how about we step up, right? I think his performance has actually stepped up every person's performance. And you want a player like that in the team. You need a player like that in the team. But it was unreal. The goal in the 90 plus 7 minutes. 90 plus 7. Like, who scores during that time? Who scores during that time? The assist for Ben White, unreal as well. Enough power, enough precision. He just does enough. I thought he was man of the match, and it was purely unreal in this game. And finally, our performance was better than a 3-2 victory, and VAR is a disgrace. Now, when anyone looks at that performance, they will go, oh, Arsenal struggled against Bournemouth. We did not struggle, bro. We annihilated Bournemouth. The difference is that the scoreline actually gives them something to be proud of. They should not be proud of anything. They should be proud of nothing in that game. When you go against a Premier League side and you play that kind of shit football, you play like that, you should be ashamed of that kind of football, Gary O'Neill or Martin O'Neill. I don't even care. But VAR is a disgrace. VAR is a disgrace. Come on. When is this going to stop? When are Arsenal going to get the correct decisions in their way? When? Like, when? Someone talk to us. If we have a problem with VAR as a team, we should be notified in advance before scrap VAR over fixtures because it doesn't help us. And yeah, in this game, VAR was part of the time wasting. It was part of the time wasting because they were checking right decisions. Like Philip Billing hands the ball into away from goal. They look at it and they go, yeah, have we taken a minute? Yeah. No, it's not a penalty. How is that not a penalty? Talk to me. Someone let us know. How is the Philip Billing incident not a penalty? Those twats. I'll see you in the next one. Hit a like button for me. Love you.